to welcome you to Philanthropy All In. We're all in this together. You know, we're all trying to make the region a better place. And we're all in the same boat. Everybody has limited resources to do this work. So I love that word cloud. When we decided to use the word cloud as the logo, I really liked the word cloud because it captured all of our in words. But there were three words that we thought we would really focus on. Those were the words that really resonated with us. And they were inspire, influence, and innovate. We believe that all the folks in the room, as well as WRAG, that you are working to inspire new thinking and new actions, that you're influencing what's going on in the region, and that you're supporting and fostering innovation. So my quick snapshot of 2015, I'm going to do within the context of those three words. So first, inspire. I certainly hope you were inspired when Carl Alexander came to the Brightest Minds series and he talked about his 25 years of research and said, pretty much where kids start in life is where they end up. And he was very bold in suggesting to you as funders in the community that there were three places where he thought you should make your investments. He suggested early childhood education, summer learning retention programs, and for you to look at why kids are absent from schools and try to fix it. So through the Brightest Minds series and through the CEO Coffee and Conversation series, we hope we have inspired some of your thinking. And we hope the Philanthropy Fellows are inspiring. I can't believe that this is the 5th year of our partnership with the University of Maryland. But we hope that that program is inspiring some new thinking from the students who are part of the program and that they will consider philanthropy as their profession as they move forward in life. But what we're also hearing from the supervisors who have those students in their offices, that they are also inspiring them to think differently. So influence. You know, I've been talking to Lynn Tadlock about what's going on in Loudoun County. And we heard from a woman named Jennifer Montgomery with Loudoun Interfaith. And she said to the WRAG staff, she said, you know, we've been trying to get people together. We keep talking about getting people together. But it wasn't until WRAG came for the philanthropy conference that we were able to pull together the government sector, the social profit sector, the philanthropic sector. So we believe that WRAG's involvement is really influential in what's going on in Loudoun County. And then get on the map. Ever since I came to WRAG, folks have been talking about, can't we just know who gives to what and why and when and how? And I said, it seems easy, but we can't make it happen. We didn't have the technological capability. But now we do through a service that's being provided through the Foundation Center. And it's just so exciting to know that over 1/3 of our members are already participating. So you can go there, you can see where your colleagues are giving. It's a phenomenal opportunity to kind of figure out where the dollars are going. We know, however, that one size doesn't fit all, and we know that it doesn't quite work for our corporate members. But the good thing of knowing that, and the fact that our corporate members were so upfront about that, is that the Foundation Center is now looking for some way to make that work for our corporate members as well. So hopefully by 2016 that there'll be an accommodation and we really can know all that's being given in our region. And then lastly, innovate. So we've started fiscal sponsorship. So WRAG is now a fiscal sponsor for a number of organizations, and there's a packet, folder in your packet. So our kind of tagline is, focus on your mission, we've got you covered. And Rita Cook, who most of you don't see, Rita is up on the screen now, and she's smiling even though she deals with numbers all the time. Rita is our CFO, and she's the person on our staff who's handling all of our fiscal sponsorships. So we think that's a pretty innovative way for us to bring capital into WRAG as well as support the region. And then lastly, our work with the business community. It was only recently that WRAG has really opened that portal into the business community. So we're delighted to be working with business leaders around a regional economic vision as well as around housing affordability through the Greater Washington Housing Leaders Group. So inspire, influence, innovate, philanthropy all in. You know, it's not just our mantra, it really is the way that we're going to do work. And it's the way we did work in 2015, and it's the way we're going to work in 2016. And so there are just 2 projects that I want to focus on of bodies of work for 2016. So I guess it was just a little over 6 months ago that we were all talking about the Freddie Gray incident in Baltimore. And people were wondering if that could happen here. Well, of course it could. We were talking about where he went to school and what were his living conditions, and was there lead paint in his home, and what was going on in his neighborhood, and what were the opportunities. And what we realized was that there were very few people who were talking about something that some feel undergirds the Freddie Gray situation, and that's racism. And racism is kind of a knee-jerk term. When you hear it, I think you think about dogs lunging at civil rights protesters, or you think about walking across the Edmund Pettus Bridge from Selma to Montgomery. But racism, that kind of a violent, overt racism, we don't see very much in the country anymore. But there still is racism that's embedded in our institutions and that we don't talk a lot about. So I am very pleased to announce that next year, WRAG is launching a lecture series that is called Putting Racism on the Table. And there's a brochure in your packet. And I'm very excited about this because it's going to be open to WRAG CEOs and trustees. The entire lecture series is planned. If you look in your program, all the dates are there. We're going to ask you for a 3-hour commitment once a month to look at topics as varied as structural racism, white privilege, unconscious bias, looking at a case study on mass incarceration, looking at the racial mosaic of America, and then looking at what philanthropy is doing to address racism. So it's a pretty robust program. Right now, it's going to only be open for CEOs and trustees, but we hope to change that later as we move forward in the program. So please look at this and mark your calendars if you can. And then the other area that we've been doing some work on and will continue in 2016 is around affordable housing. So the two smiling faces on the screen are Eva and Annabelle Martinez, and they live in Mount Pleasant. And they've lived there for about 20 years. They live in a building that probably many of us would call a slum. At least that's the way it used to be. So there were rats running up and down the hall. They had sewage overflows. They had all the problems that you would associate with a building that was truly should not have been livable. But they wanted to live there. They didn't want to live in that building. They wanted to live in that community. That was their community, and they could not afford to move to a better building. So the Martinez sisters had to stay, but what they had supporting them was Enterprise Community Loan Partners. So the Enterprise Community Loan Fund came in with their impact note, and they revised the building in which the Martinez sisters lived in. They created housing that they could afford, and they could stay in that space. So I'm really excited about the work that WRAG is going to do in partnership with the Enterprise Community Loan Fund. We are looking at a vehicle in which all of you will be able to invest through your corporations, through your foundations, in an impact note that will be targeted to our region, to affordable housing in our region, that you can either do through grants or through the investments of your corpus in this impact note. And those parts we think are pretty inspirational, pretty innovative. But the part that's really the best part, at least I think it's the best part, is the fact that every single person in this room will be able to invest in this note. $5,000 is the floor, so it only takes an investment of $5,000. You get a return on your investment, and you can be a part directly of solving the housing affordability crisis in our region. So look to your mail, either your snail mail or your email, in the next couple of weeks, and you should be getting information about this new initiative, which is called Our Region, Your Investment. But you know what Philanthropy All In is really all about? It's really all about the people. And so on the screen, I think is Kristen Pauley, I hope. I can't see it too good, but I think it's Kristen Pauley. So Kristen is retiring this year from Prince Charitable Trust. She's not able to be here, but I just wanted to acknowledge all that she's done, particularly around environmental issues and around healthy food and healthy eating. And so while Kristen will be leaving our community, the next slide you're going to see reflects the logos of all of the new foundations that have come into the WRAG community. So this is a robust, growing, vibrant community that continues to grow. And certainly, I'm really pleased by that, but I'm pleased that so many of you are here today. And I can't leave the podium without thanking you for all that you do and without thanking the WRAG staff. So up there, up in the corner is Gretchen, and there's Rebecca up there, and Rita, and Katie's there, and Sierra, and all of you. All of what makes this an incredibly responsive and robust and vibrant region. I think that when we talk about philanthropy being all in, that we know all of the work that you've done around the Washington AIDS Partnership, the work that you've done to support the Washington Regional Food Funders, all of the work that you've done that's collaborative. You really are quite an inspirational community. Thank you, and I look forward to working with you in 2016. Thank you.